She's been playing AOE4 since release, and she also played Age of Empires when she was young. And she's been a streamer for Age of Empires for last 2 years, and she's traveling solo. Girl, this girl is independent. She don't need no company. She can play AU bids all she wants. Hell yeah. But she is playing Age of Empires as she's traveling. She's addicted to this game, and that is always a good addiction. While dl-zig is from Japan, so a pretty late night for our Japanese player. And she started playing Age of Empires last year in May. And she prefers AUBits, Abbasid, and English. She is excited to play with our fellow females, so I'm happy to have her. All the way from from Japan.
All the way from Japanese, dude. We
I'm
got her
not a
all the
native
way. Can
speaker,
you
come
imagine?
on.
All from Japanese. That's crazy. I
Oh.
how many miles it takes to get from Japanese here is wild. But the now this is
Uh,
one of the things though is because you're looking at the player cards on the screen. Mllepeps
mm,
doesn't have IU bids here. dl-zig does.
mm.
So maybe, even though there could be a little bit discrepancy in rank, as you can see,
Mm.
dl-zig might be trying to keep her favorite Civ on the DL, and maybe
Maybe
IU bids will be the choice to make. I'm hearing sheep in my ear. Are we ready to get going?
I think it's about time. We're about to go in. And as we can see, the Japanese flag in the top right corner, because we have our AUBIT player number 1 and AUBIT player number 2. Both of these Chad ladies about to clap on these hot little sheep. We love ourselves a good old barbecue, roasting them. I don't know about your country, but in my country, we have something called the spit braai. And basically, you put like a stick through the butt and it comes out the mouth, and then you'll just put the sheep through and you'll just turn it for hours. Is that a thing they do in the US as well?
We don't usually put sticks through butts,
Yeah.
um, but
Noted.
I can I can see how that would be very appetizing. Not a US thing, no, no.
Well, when you describe it like that, it doesn't sound very good. All right.
I mean, I'll do
Noted.
it. I don't care.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay, guys, we're just learning a little bit more about 10-foot Tim here. When you check out his stream, keep that in mind. Thank you very much.
They're used to it at this point. If you watch
Okay.
them,
So yeah, guys, remember to check out 10-foot Tim. He's almost a Twitch partner. He's going to be pumping all the way as our medical Twitch partner, supporting, I don't know, Age of Empires female community right here, right now. Hell yeah. Look at these players. Mirror matchup, 8-3, 8 on food, 3 on gold for both players. We get half the work, double the fun.
and for mirrors, it's very interesting to cast and to watch from God mode because the very slight derivations in what they do, right?
Mhm.
Maybe it's just a villager going into one particular resource instead of the other one, as Mllepeps is doing. She's starting to go on wood, while dl-zig put a ninth villager onto food, which means she's going to be able to click that button a little bit better. You can see that build might be a little bit better for dl-zig. And when you're playing in an IUBID mirror, getting your build down absolutely perfect is what you need to do to win games. So at the start of this game, even though we're 2.5
Ooh.
minutes in, I like dl-zig's position here. She goes for military wing, which is the correct wing. She's going to get some of those free desert raiders. And it's such a nice thing to do, especially in a mirror, because when you get your first ones out, you get them out a little bit quicker. As you can see, you got to split your eyes here. Kyle doing a good job of being a split screener here. I got
Oof.
one eye looking to the left. I got one eye looking to the right. I'm going to get a headache.
We're just seeing a lot of military wing. Thank you very much, Mr. Cow. That is some important information right there, because this means we're going to see some spicy cabals running around, shooting at each other, shooting at villagers, causing panic, as we saw earlier in the tournament. Now, what I want you guys to notice as well, because 10-foot Tim says he likes dl-zig's build a little bit more, but I am actually on the Mllepeps. I don't know how to say it correctly, but because she is going for more wood, which means she's going to have her production buildings out more if she wanted to go for that. Both of them keeping their villages on gold, which is, making it safe for going to Castle Age eventually. But having the 5 on wood is the significant difference here, because this now allows you to make that decision of, oh, am I just going to pump out more military? Or am I just going to be able to go out on external food sources and get to Castle Edge with a lot more food, you know? So while dl-zig is probably going to struggle getting all those economy buildings down with no wood in her inventory.
Yeah, you actually did a good job of foreshadowing too, because
Mm.
with Mllepeps having the 5 on wood, it makes her build a little bit more versatile, like you said, maybe not as quick. As Cal did show on that as well for Mllepeps for her gold, she could put an outpost there,
Mm.
right? She can make sure that when desert raiders go to her base, that her gold villagers are protected. dl-zig doesn't have the ability to do that. Yeah, she's got a little bit more gold, and she will get a little bit more food, but Mllepeps is going to be able to protect herself a little bit more. So we'll see when these desert raiders actually cross paths here, if Mllepeps is able to do some damage to dl-zig, and if she does, that delay could literally cost her the ball game.
Question is just how did that one villager lead came to be? Did someone run out of food for a second? Because that is, I know it's not significant, especially when we're just starting out the game. It's, oh, there he goes. Okay, so she's just a few seconds ahead. This might just be as simple as I didn't click as fast as the other person. So this is one thing that we can see in lower ranks as well. Everything gets down to, oh, I clicked my villager slightly faster than you. But hey, she might even that out pretty soon. The villager goes down and, oh, villager for villager. This camel doing work. And Mllepeps hasn't used the wood that I was oohing about earlier. So I'm wondering what the plan is here. Because usually if you get a resource, you have to spend the resource because that's why you got the resource, right? You don't just do something because, oh, that feels nice. You have to do it with a plan. And right now, it doesn't look like she had a solid plan. The camel is coming in, just causing a little bit of problems. And dl-zig already ready for Culture Wing. Does she realize? Is she not going? Oh, she's going for Culture Wing. Culture Wing is underway. dl-zig a little bit faster. And Mllepeps is going to follow behind. Oh, she spent a little bit more food. But now, again, you got all that wood. What are you going to do with it? She's probably going to try to make a military building or two. But even dl-zig, even though she's going for fast castle, she doesn't have enough to make a barracks. So you don't have the ability to actually capitalize on the castle age unit. So she's definitely going to go for her camels. But she also needs wood for that, right?
Yeah, and I mean, when you need, I mean, at least you get 150 wood because you got to make one production building. If you want to keep making, if you're doing things like camel lancers, probably one stable is fine. If you're going to be going into more gulams, you're probably going to need a couple barracks in order to push them out. And it looks like that's what Mllepeps is going to be doing. I see a barracks in her, right near her starting town center. And just because of that little bit of delay for that gold, again, didn't have an outpost there. Because of that little bit of delay, she's still waiting, and she has all of these villagers moving north. She's really into the berries. I think Mllepeps is going for more of a vegan society.
I mean, that is what Abbasid is known for, right? They love themselves, them berries, brother. Oh, Aubits. Aubits, not Abbasid. I apologize. I was wrong. Well, both of these players, hot on the way to Castle Age, one already hitting it hard. But now, the only difference is Mllepeps has the wood to be able to... Ooh. I just saw a dead villager. That was a distraction. She has the wood to support this, but now she does not have the gold. Because, dl-zig is putting some pressure on. And again, this doesn't look like an unmatched game. As we talked about this off of the production or off of the screen, these players they have a significant difference in seeds, but their current ranks are quite similar. Mllepeps is currently plat 1, while dl-zig also plat 1. And this is their rankings. We have seed 6 versus seed 10. So Mllepeps is the favorite to advance from this round. She just needs to, play it smart and play it safe.
Yeah, and I mean, she just needs to get to Castle Age. Like that's pretty much like she needs that in order to try to compete in this game. dl-zig trying to put down walls, but there's a desert raider trying to rain some hell or some in arrow fashion, I should say, around all of those. And dl-zig, you notice with that wood, you kind of foreshadowed that too in Feudal because she didn't have the wood for it, and now we have a desert raider showdown. As you can see, swords, they're just
Oh.
hacking and slashing. They're trying to kill those lovely lady lumps. and all of those desert raiders end up going down. I tried to do that with camels and humpback and all that kind of. Just let me go. You talk now.
So you know that thing that you call foreshadowing?
Yeah.
I call that Diamond versus Conqueror player. You know?
True.
Okay.
True.
Oh come on! You have to clap back now.
No,
I'm baiting
I
you.
feel so defeated.
Come on, clap back. Tell me something. You
Oh
gotta
my
do this.
Well, when you're spamming your meditation gardens all over the face, is it
Yeah.
Conqueror? You know?
That's my man. Hell yeah. Yeah, I do play Jushi. But I did get it on Malians as well. Thank you very much. But okay, that was a good one. Point back to you. Hell yes, sir.
I
Cal,
gotta, I, I gotta
don't
be
you
able
dare.
to, I gotta be able to defend myself a little bit.
Uh-huh. Oh, you do play Variety Civilization, so we should have a lot of respect for you. And the
Thank you.
cow goes down. Oh, the cow. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I didn't mean that. The camel goes down. And now these camels are going to disrupt the gold too. And now dl-zig, who had the map control, doesn't have gold either. And finally, Mllepeps on her gold. She pushed back dl-zig, and now she is taking the lead. These camels need to go back. If she loses this, it is just going to snowball from here. It's a very, very risky situation to be in right now. Losing another one. But again,
Yeah, I really enjoy how you used the snowball reference. Both of these civs, if for IU-bids and Castle Age, I'm surprised that they're going with Gulams here. I mean, with all of these barracks and stuff, Mllepeps actually doing a good job of getting relics. That's the first relic taken of the game, and you got to remember, dl-zig, she was ahead in Castle Age by about a minute and a half, but Mllepeps just continued to kind of push the initiative while she was still in Feudal, and dl-zig was a little bit hindered by her lack of wood. Wasn't able to get those military buildings, but now we're finally seeing some skirmishes, some desert raiders. They are popping out for free, but they are going down rather frivolously as well. Gulam's now finally getting into the mix, and it looks like it's not so much about map control for these guys. They're just trying to take it to each other's base.
Yeah, they just want to keep being denied resources, and that's exactly what you need to do. The moment that your opponent gets the advantage of having resources, you're allowing them to keep making units. So what both of these players need to do, they need to be going on those external resources. You're playing against AOE4s. AOE4s is not a civilization that can bust out 500,000 farms like English or Jushi. They are a civilization that's quite susceptible to getting outside food sources, and this is why they need to be in each other's bases. So instead of suiciding a few camels into one another, it's important to be sending those to the back lines, killing everything that you have, or that your opponent has.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's all about tempo, right? Like, the reason why, I mean, we talked about it before, but the reason why the IU-bid fast castle is so good is because it's so fast. It gives you that tempo to get castle age units as quickly as possible. When you're doing things like farm transitioning, you're really giving up a lot of tempo for late game economy. They don't want to do that. So you're exactly right. Go try to get those berry bushes, those deer packs, all of that kind of stuff. You can see what Mllepeps is doing on the northeast part of the screen. She's got villagers going over to that berry bush. She's the first one, however, also to try to get a mangonel, or a manganique, I should say, for the IU-bids, because those things not only shoot rocks, they shoot great balls of fire as well.
Those are my favorite types of balls. So, okay, I regret that. I regret that. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh my god. we even got a gifted sub for that, guys. Just so you know, Whamen, best balls are the ones on fire. Okay?
Yeah, oh yeah, brothers. Okay, I said that, and we got donated, and he's probably like putting his refund request right now. Like, I don't know, that was a mistake, guys. Thank you very much, boys. So, the army does get fought off here, but the idle time is going to show constantly. It's going to be a really difficult thing for her to get back from, but she does have those gulams, and those archers aren't the same power as gulams. They're going to get that mangonel, and this is going to be quite expensive for Mllepeps, as apparently Mele stands for Mademoiselle.
Ah, mademoiselle, it has a certain je ne sais quoi, does it?
Yes. Do you have good French accent? Yeah. I can do German, you do French?
Well, as they say in French, no. I do not. That's the only French phrase that I know, and I don't even know what it means.
What, no?
No,
Oh.
it's not. No, je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. We had this TV show when I was growing up in South Africa called Seven de Laan, which was just like this dramatic thing where there was a girl who was always, she was a pure Afrikaans, like a Dutch girl, and she was always just pretending to be French. And she would be like, oh, yes, this outfit just has a certain je ne sais quoi to it. Nobody in South Africa knows what it means, but we all use it. Oh,
Yeah,
look at those.
apparently it's a particularly good French phrase. I just don't. I would rather not know what it means, I guess, because I think it's fun to say. Mllepeps, though, getting back to the game, Mllepeps did a good job of transitioning into crossbowmen, and these crossbowmen are really doing a good job of trying to take down these ghouls. Lots of idle time though from Mllepeps. You can see their villagers kind of moving to the northeast. They want to get back to the wood line, all that kind of stuff. Good cleanup for her. And I think as the game continues to progress, as you see, she put 10 crossbowmen in the queue. As the game continues to progress, the relics are going to keep paying off for her.
The problem is that was very expensive. She just threw away about 850, 860 resources worth of units. That is not something we can just say, oh, it's going to be fine. Yeah, she was okay. She held that attack. She went again and she attacked her opponent, but she got idle time, but she lost a lot of units. And I don't think she lost enough units to say that that was worth it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, looking at the worker kill count from both these players, one's got 4, one's got 3. So for how many ghouls she lost, if she did take down a couple villagers, again, you got to be thinking about at what cost, and that's why she's at that military deficit that she is. Now that Mllepeps has a crossbowman mask, she can go on a counterattack. She has ghouls making up the front line. Looks like dl-zig is trying to get some crossbowmen as well. You can see the upgrades coming in for these players. So good job of getting the presence of mind to make sure you're getting that iron undermesh.
So when we're looking at this type of composition in Castle Age, you have to have hard counters to this. And both of these players luckily are getting their counters, both of them going for crossbowmen because they know they need to deal with ghouls. But the numbers, as we used to say in StarCraft, the supply does not lie. So the supply doesn't lie. And right now it's 75 to 61. And most of that is in the army, but with 6 villager lead as well, it is a very risky move to be going forward.
Yeah, I mean, she's got Mllepeps is in a really good spot, something that I did not think was going to happen because dl-zig's build seemed to be very good. She was the first one to get up to Castle Age. It just looked like she wasn't able to get that initiative in the first minute or two. Now she's finally getting her first relic, which is the one probably closest to home, so that dervish will be scurrying its way back to its respective monastery, or mosque, I should say. And Mllepeps continuing to push initiative with this military score. She's almost at about double of dl-zig. She has got to make units, and she's got to make it quick before ghouls run all over her base.
Did she pick up her relic and did she pick it up and drag it somewhere, or has she just not dropped it? Oh, heals all units, okay. I'm not an AOE player, I apologize, guys. Okay, so you run around with that thing in your hand. That's pretty poggers. Oh
yeah,
my
and
gosh.
for the dervish, I mean, for how fast they are able to do a good job. Without the relic, they're 1.62, which is the speed of a knight, if I remember correctly. So they do have a decent amount of mobility, and again, that's why it makes their Castle Age so good, because they're able to scamper around and pick up those relics very easily. You can see what Mllepeps is doing. We talked about those outside food resources. It's a really good spot to raid, but dl-zig is very consumed with making sure she stays alive in her own base. The raiding potential pretty much non-existent for her.
Yeah, at this point, she just doesn't know when the all-in is coming in, and she needs to stand back and wait for it. The problem is now, Mllepeps is going all over the map, getting all the resources she needs. However, I still don't feel like this is... Oh, I say that. I was about to say it's not over, but the right-click into the army is... Oof. That might be it. That might be the moment where the push just comes through. I was
Yeah,
gonna
they
say,
kind
if
of
it lasts, you know?
they kind of just I know they probably didn't know their respective armies were there. They kind of just like went into each other, went in for a quick smooch, then they're like, okay, now we're gonna start firing arrows at each other.
And now we just see the Rams coming in, and you know how we feel about Rams, boys. Subscribe to the only Rams. Let's get into that base. Twitch chat, we've done this in my chat a significant amount of times. How many Rams do you need to kill a person?
I don't know the answer. You gotta tell me.
Oh no, that's a Twitch chat thing. People know in my chat. 3. NLD Davidos. You are a true believer. And always one more, Sister Barriers. Okay, Barriers, not a bad comment right there. Always needed one more. Yes, we need 3 rams. And if you really want to solidify it, 4 is a good number. But yes, if you want to kill a guy, 3 rams. And right now I only see 2. So this is a maybe, boys. Oh, never mind. There's a mega now. It evened the pot. It evened the pot in it.
Ugh, only rams my ass. That's not a ram. Just destroy that thing. Let's keep going. Let's try to ram this thing down. This House of Wisdom, though, if dl-zig doesn't get her gulams over there, it's only a matter of time before the golden age for the Ayabids is completely gone.
Isn't it strange having to say she, if her, in a tournament, right? When I'm casting now, it's so strange. I keep wanting to say he.
You know,
So-
after casting today, I'm gonna get too used to it, where everyone I cast is gonna be a she,
Mm.
and they're gonna be very offended.
Oh, look at that split screen showing us how the villagers are getting snacked on. So, Mllepeps cleaning up at the front, cleaning up at the back, just looking for the most dramatic kill after losing those dervishes. Oh, look at the fire from the fireballs. Hell yeah, brothers. Coming from the top. Look at those guys just going down. Let's watch a fireball hit them in the face. There they go. Down they go.
It's like napalm with all of them firing. And I mean, they do really, for the theatrics aside, they do really well against buildings. Maybe not so much against units. And that's why she goes back to the rocks. But it doesn't matter. Game ends up getting called. dl-zig is going to be calling for the forfeit before that House of Wisdom goes down. Mllepeps, I was thoroughly impressed by her game.
No, that was I was honestly impressed by both. Like we said, Mllepeps was the highest seed in this matchup, so this was to be expected. Well, a lot of villagers survived that, but this is something that I feel like dl-zig really put a good fight up against. There might be some small things to change, but you can see these ranks are not too far apart, even though they might seem that way. So really impressive from both these players. My goodness, look at that economy. That's so the stone carrying it through.
And I think, I mean, a lot of it for Mllepeps was creating idle time. She
Mm,
really disrupted dl-zig a lot, even though dl-zig's build, you might say, just because of how quickly she got up to castle, it might have been a little better at
mm,
that point. You know, I mean, this is something, it's a civ that dl-zig plays a lot. She plays a lot of IU bids. You can see that that build is pretty much, you know, set in stone for her, and she was able to get to castle age pretty quickly. But it was just about how she translated with the resources that castle age gave her. Mllepeps just did a better job. But overall, both these players, you could see how Mllepeps was able to adapt, how dl-zig was able to do her build. Definitely positives out of both of them.